Hello, viewers of the national television. Welcome to this English news edition. I'm Fabian Nizige here. Top stories. The presidential couple joined the Catholic community of Burundi this Tuesday evening in a Thanksgiving Mass in honor of the new Pope Leo XIV, who succeeds Pope Francis. This Mass, which was attended by all of Burundi's bishops and some of the diplomats accredited to Gitega. Students who completed studies in paramedical schools countrywide start for common exam since this Wednesday. This Assistant Minister Dr. Ms. Rosaline Duwimana mentioned that this examination helps to evaluate the training level and the students' abilities in health science from different paramedical schools. Those are headlines. Details now. The presidential couple joined the Catholic community of Burundi this Tuesday evening in a Thanksgiving Mass in honor of the new Pope Leo XIV, who succeeds Pope Francis. This Mass was attended by all of Burundi's bishops and some of the diplomats accredited to Gitega. Was organized at the initiative of the Apostolic Annunciator in Bujumbura. Joseph Mundajambo is the story.
Giving to God celebration Mass for having accorded Catholic Church a new Pope Leon XIV was held on Tuesday evening at Regina Mundi Cathedral as asked by the representation of Pope in Burundi. The Mass was attended by all Burundian bishops and hosted by the Burundian President Evariste Ndayishimiye, accompanied by his spouse. The Mass was celebrated by Bishop Bonaventure Nahimana, leader of Archdiocese of Gitega, same time President of Burundi Bishop Conference. In his preaching, he said that Pope Leon XIV puts forward the peace maintenance worldwide, the divine peace as written in Holy Bible, the peace taken as the legacy of Jesus Christ, who has sacrificed himself on the cross. Everyone is then urged to safeguard this peace, especially in our neighborhood. He then took an example in our neighbor country DRC, in Gaza and Ukraine. He mentioned that before his investiture, Pope Leon XIV on last Sunday has promised to do his best for ceasing all wars across the world. Bishop Bonaventure Nahimana took the opportunity to call those dealing with the ongoing electoral campaign to go in the footprint of the advice of Pope Leon XIV, to know what they say, not to tease those they compete, and ask the audience to pray for these worries so they peacefully go on. What will enable Burundians to bring in a good cohabitation, unity, and solidarity.
And the Vice President of Republic, Prosper Bazombanza, has returned from a visit to Rome, Italy, where he attended the inaugural Mass of Pope Leo XIV's pontificate. The Vice President calls on the Catholic Church in Burundi to assist in development efforts so that the vision of a developed Burundi can be realized. Members of the CNDD-FDD party are encouraged to engage in non-violent communication and to coexist harmoniously with members of other political parties. This was the call from Secretary General of the CNDD-FDD party, Reverend Dikurio, during director propaganda activities that took place on Tuesday afternoon in the expanded commune of Ngozi in the Butanyerera province. Evariste Niyonkuru.
In the extended commune of Ngozi, the electoral campaign for legislatives and the communals within the CNDD-FDD political party took place at Muremera Stadium, where gathered the crowd of Bagumyabanga, the members of this ruling party from different zones of this commune. These activities were held under the auspices of the General Secretary of CNDD-FDD, Reverend Dikurio, alongside other officials. This campaign was marked by a long parade made by the juniors within this party, as known as Ibiswe Vy'inkona, as well as the songs praising the ruling party. In his speech, the Provincial Secretary of CND-FDD in Butanyerera Province, Ferdinand Habimana, indicated that Bagumyabanga of this province are prioritizing the avocado fruit. To this end, he displayed the foreign economic operators who will contribute in promoting the avocado selling. The Secretary General, Reverend Ndikurio, appreciated the step already made in avocado fruits planting in this province. He mentioned that the CND-FDD party is ready to support the partners who will engage themselves in avocado business, since it requires more means, given that it will provide a significant production by bearing tons of avocados. The reason why it is worth financing this sector. He equally called upon the members of this party to cohabitate peacefully with the members of other parties, regardless of the differences in terms of their political ideologies. They also displayed the candidates for communals in the extent communal of Ngozi and the legislatives in the extent province of Butanyere.
As I told you, students who completed studies in paramedical schools countrywide sat for a common exam since this Wednesday. The Assistant Minister, Dr. Ines Roslin Nduwimana, mentioned that this examination helps to evaluate the training level and the students' abilities in health science from different paramedical schools. Details with Christina Kimana.
911 candidates sat for the common examination designated for students who completed secondary studies in paramedical schools nationwide. Among them, 367 candidates has taken this examination here in Bujumbura. According to the Assistant Minister of Public Health, Dr. Rosaline Nduwimana, this test has been implemented since 2018 and aimed at evaluating the training level and students' capacities within different paramedical schools. This examination will be done within 3 days. Theory exam covers subjects such as nursing, pharmacy, laboratory, and sanitation, while practice will be done within 5 days.
In the political capital of the country, Gitega, the General Director of Tourism in Burundi, organized a workshop on Tuesday for the development of a marketing plan for tourism in Burundi. The General Director of Tourism, Jacques Bigirimana, stated that enhancing the value of tourist sites, it could increase the appeal of Burundi as a tourist destination and thus bring foreign currency into the country. Report translated by Everson Nyonguru.
Cultures in terms of designing a document which will help in attracting tourists in Burundi. Plan marketing du tourisme au Burundi in French language. The Director General of Tourism in Burundi, Jacques Bigirimana, indicates that it is in the framework of demonstrating the potentials owned by Burundi in promoting tourism industry in the country, prevailing challenges and how they can be addressed. Jacques Bigirimana indicates that they have already shown the government the way the sector can be promoted so that attractive prices which are in sectors which are not included in this Ministry of Trade and Tourism may be located to this ministry to gain the real price to attract tourists and enter in the country the hard currency. Specified some of those prices such as the Carrier Force, which is in the hands of the National Office in charge of environment, well as all tourist sites should be included in the General Direction of Tourism. He explained that they are still requesting the government to provide them the authority of supervising those sites. Within this regard, they will introduce the new tariffs referring to the regional norms in order to avoid the inconvenience faced by tourists, he added. The added value of this document is the removal of bad image against Burundi spread via social media by showing tourists the beauties of the country, which is a part of the implementation of the vision of Burundi as an emerging country by 2040 and a developed one by 2060.
And the Ministry of Youth and the Culture, supported by the international organization UNDP, has published a book that will be used to teach young people patriotic lessons. The principles used in writing the book are based on achieving the vision of the future of a developed country, as presented by Jacob Riziki, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Youth and Culture in Burundi. Jackson Irakoze.
This workshop marked the launch of a new book aimed at educating youth and women on patriotism, organized by the Ministry of Youth and Culture with support from the United Nations Development Programs. The event was attended by representatives from various ministries. This educational resource was developed in response to recent assessments highlighting the significant demographic weight of youth and women in Burundi. The book aims to instill patriotic values in these groups, aligning with the country's vision of becoming an emerging nation by 2040 and a developed country by 2060. Samuel Nahazwe, advisor to the governor of Gitega Province on cultural and social affairs, emphasized that if youth and women embrace the teachings of this book, Burundi is well positioned to achieve its developmental goals. On his side, Jacob Riziki, permanent secretary at the Ministry of Youth and Culture, reiterated the importance of this initiative. He noted that the active participation of youth and women in development activities such as joining cooperatives and increasing agricultural production underscores the need for such educational materials to foster patriotism and civic responsibility. The book covers various topics, including the history of Burundi, the national constitution, the significance of national symbols like the flag, and the importance of peaceful conflict resolution and good governance.